live. Oops, that's okay. Hello, Bonnie. How are you today? Bonnie is here today.
Doing pretty good. Staying
Good.
consistent. Got some sprints in this morning working on my story. Not quite to the reversal. Still working on the midpoint area, which is a big challenge for me right now. And I'm sure I'll have a lot more to go back and add, but that's where I'm at.
That's quite common. Yeah, that's where I was struggling. Uh, I was going to say at one point. I don't know. At a couple of points, I was still struggling at the midpoint. So yeah, that is understandable. Well, let's see here. I'm going to see what's going on. Don't see anybody in the chat, but I do have. I did have some people there. I saw. I was going to type something in the comments, but then I forgot what I was going to type.
People pop in and out. There's a lot of sprinting going on today. It's Thursday, Friday.
I saw that Jace Maxwell is streaming. Yeah, and then it's also October, so a lot of people there's starting October. A lot of people will be sprinting, so
let's stay consistent, and we'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as consistent as we can be.
Yes, can be hard.
So let's see here. One thing I was thinking of doing is I'm not quite sure that I will. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on this, whether I put a guest link in the chat. I'm not sure.
I'd like to do that on Friday.
Then anybody could join without even asking. I don't know. Anyway, what we haven't done yet is do a little bit of an intro, since but if a certain somebody comes later, we can that person can do a bit of an intro. Would you like to say something?
Sure. My name's Bonnie. My channel's Bonnie Being Bonnie. I do writing sprints 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday through Friday. And I love writing stories. And so I'm going to keep practicing story writing until I feel good enough to publish. So that's where I am.
Okay.
I'm just trying to hold it together and write stories.
Sounds good. And I'm Heather. Sorry, I'm moving this around. Sorry. There we go. Okay. My name is Heather Dewey Pettit, and let's see. I am a writer, editor, and artist. I am currently writing a book-length work, fiction. It is. I was just talking to her about it before we went live. It's kind of a cross-genre thing, where it does have aspects of urban fantasy, but it also has certain aspects of epic fantasy. It's very character-based. It's not plot-driven, maybe some, but but I have been trying to make it more character-driven. So,
and I can't wait. I'm going to get into that. As soon as we start sprinting, I'm going to spend some time reading some of the chapters that you sent me. I'm super excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I was saying that's both exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. Knowing that this week I sent out, and I'm cut off. Sorry. Getting some chapters out to people who write fantasy, because I was at the point where I had some interesting feedback from writers in critique groups, but I really wanted feedback from people who both read and write fantasy.
It's good to get feedback from people who have written it a long time, people who enjoy reading it, and even people like me who are just getting into writing it but have always loved reading it.
So. Yeah, exactly. Having multiple people looking at it of that wide of a spectrum, I think, is really going to help me.
Yeah.
because I think all of the above are part of my target audience. So I also sent it to, I believe you saw Sakatumi. So I'm really looking forward to her feedback because
Very
things.
Yeah.
Because of
creative.
things. You'll see what I mean. So anyway.
And we've been through the process already too of publishing and editing and formatting and
Yes.
with Hope's Chest. I actually purchased that book from Sako. So
I need to get that.
There's a few more on my list that I haven't got yet. That book is very different than things that I have read in the past about coding and the internet and how things work and hackers. It's really good.
Awesome. That does sound very interesting.
It would be very interesting to see the book that BC and Sako are writing together too.
Yes. And they're, I believe, almost done with that.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
They're kind of wrapping it up, and
they have each other to push each other along to get it finished.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I would be very interested in doing something like that. I think that would probably be very helpful, actually, in many ways.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get yourself
those gentle pushes are good. Having a co-writer would be really interesting.
It's very different only being responsible to your own deadline than having a partner to be responsible to. You know what I mean? Because if it's just you can keep changing your deadline. You can keep pushing it. It's not a real deadline. It is a real deadline, but not a real deadline. And when you have someone you have to be accountable to is a little different,
Right, exactly. So definitely would probably be quite helpful. Before we go into a first sprint, did you have any opinions on my little theme I chose? Did you see my theme?
I didn't see it. I didn't see
it. It's okay. Talking about, because I was talking to at least a couple of people, including you and other folks, about whether or not you count words while you're writing, or some people just prefer to count their sentences. I wrote a page.
I wrote going by,
and I'll count it later because for some people it's something to work towards, but for some people it's just nerve-wracking.
It holds me up a little bit. So
yeah, I think
it depends too on the scenario for me, because I have this other manuscript that I still haven't finished. Oh, there goes that board. There goes that book. This one I still haven't finished making the edits in there. This was all single space, so I should have did it different. I counted the words on this, and I kept track of who's writing sprints I was attending, how many words that I wrote during those sprints.
Yeah, I used to do that too.
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So
sound, I have to plug in.
Sometimes the count can be motivated.
Hold on.
Sure. Do you want me to get the first sprint ready, and how long would you like that timer to be?
Let's see. It's your choice.
Oh,
I'm getting used to my device.
Timers. I get to run the timers and pick the time.
If I wince here and there, it's because of my light. I'm trying to get used to it.
Do you want to start off with something small or bigger, or?
We can get started with something smallish.
You want to do a 15?
Sure.
I like the 20, so I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. Oh, how about a fall one? Fall one?
That's what I'm hoping. What's that? Holland?
Yeah, how about a fall one?
Reduce this light a little bit. There we go. Ooh. I know the ring light was helping with the light situation, but ugh, it's gonna take some time to get used
Is it too bright in your eyes?
to. Headache, God. Oh well. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Do a nice 15-minute.
Yeah, I like it. Alrighty, let me see here. Let me get some other things. Okay.
And I'm gonna work. I'm getting a little warm. I'm gonna work on reading some of what you sent me, and I'm gonna drink some tea. So work on that for a little bit.
Right. Fix my banner, and I'm gonna show it. All right. There we go. Change the date. All right. Okay. All right. I guess I could count us down. Unless you would like to, Bonnie.
Go ahead, Heather.
Okay. Let's see. Hey everybody, remember to save your work. Save it. It's a good thing to do. I need to do that more than I already do. Save it in more places than I already do. It's a good thing to do. Just in case. Let's see. Wow, I'm getting tired or something.
All hibernation mode coming.
Something. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let's start working. In 5, 4. Oops. Sorry. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Let's sprint. Okay, how did everybody do? What did everybody do? Um, I was working in one of my chapters.
And I made it to page 6.
Okay,
Near
okay.
the end, so.
Create yet?
Now, is this
That's
book directed at a certain age group or any fantasy reader?
It's any.
Okay.
Any.
I'm just wondering if I'm in the right mindset of reading it.
Okay.
Very descriptive. So very nice.
Oh, awesome. That's what I was hoping for. Let me see. What
I'm definitely picturing where your main character is at. I'm definitely picturing what kind of life they're living right now.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so you're already into. If you're on page 6, you're just into the second chapter.
Yes, I just read the heading of the second chapter. So,
okay. What do you think of that? Don't say it, but what do you think of that chapter title?
For chapter 2, I haven't read into it yet, but I got excited when I saw it because I'm like, okay, so all this description is leading somewhere. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
Yes, it is.
I like the title. I like the title of chapter 2 too.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm just.
Yeah. It's hard. It makes it hard to talk about my book because I want there to still be this aura of mystery going on. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of also a mystery. Again, it's kind of a multi-genre type thing almost. Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be the first book you publish, right? So this is your baby you're going to release.
Yes, it is.
I get why you don't want to.
It's been in the back of my head for a very long time. So since my kid was little. And he's now almost
that just goes to show people who are new writers that you don't have to finish your first book in a year of your first book.
Oh gosh, no.
No, take your time.
I used to think that too.
It's hard when you see people turning things out so quickly to not compare and try to be on the same level, but you have to realize people are coming from a different experience levels. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Different processing levels, different expertise, and different things on this. So I always have to remind myself of that and not try to keep the same pace as other people that are just turning things out a lot quicker because they're more experienced, you know?
Right, exactly. Because they're more experienced
but it can be frustrating though when you are comparing yourself to people who are turning things out fast and you haven't quite got there. So just remember, move at your own pace and don't kill your writing vibe by trying to do more than what you can do. Yeah.
Absolutely. I apologize also. I turned my light off because I think I am working on a headache, so that would not help. So yeah, sorry. There is sunlight coming through my window though. That seems to help. So
it's actually pretty sunny here today in upstate New York. A little chilly, but sunnier. Not raining.
It was pretty clear. A lot more clear than it was yesterday. Here today. Way down here in Florida, what would you call it? That's not necessarily Central Florida. It's what?
Yeah, we're in Central Florida.
Sort of.
It's pretty nice in Florida in October, though, right? Well,
depending on where you are and stuff, but it's still pretty warm here. They've been projecting about 90 for a high for. What the last.
You say West Coast Florida.
We're like West Coast, like Tampa Bay. Yeah, West Coast.
Very nice.
So we're close to the water.
We're not quite South Florida, but we're not quite Central Florida either. So I just say West Coast.
Kind of West Coast, yeah, West Coast.
I'm West Coast on the East Coast. You're like, I'm on the East Coast, but West Side. Just kidding.
Sorry. The Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico. We're on the Gulf of Mexico.
Very nice.
Yep.
So I'm gonna continue to read through this because it's very enjoyable. Even though I'm taking a little break from my own writing right now, but I need thinking time anyways. So at midpoint, I'm trying to frame how the reversal is gonna work. So
Thinking time is good, and reading, and because that's kind of that's working too.
mhm.
So yeah. Some of my chapter titles, I was trying to be maybe a little too clever. A couple of them are kind of boring, but those I'm kind of still working on.
I really like this second chapter title though. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, when I came up with it, I was like, oh, that'll work.
Now to make sure it goes with the chapter, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at one point I wasn't even using chapter titles, but that seemed to, I don't know, once I started doing it,
that's one thing I have not created
chapter to help. But I was also trying not to limit myself in saying this is this chapter and this is this chapter.
Mhm.
And because I was saying, well, then that wouldn't go there.
You know what?
I
did notice I do something different than you. And it may be me doing it wrong because you're editor, and I never indent for paragraphs. I feel like I just started new. I never indent.
Sorry.
I never indent for paragraphs. So.
Well, and that's fine if that's what you want to do while you're still writing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when you submit, when you're ready to submit, you'll definitely want to do that.
Yeah, like if you see my doc, I just go to the next line for a new paragraph. I just go to the next line. Or if it's like a new section, I'll skip space. I'll skip space.
Yeah, I can do it.
Start a new section. But I never hit the indent. I don't know why. Well, I like the way it looks on yours. Even though I like the way it looks not indented too. So I don't know.
Hey, that that is fine to do. I think it's 12:45.
I may need a good formatter eventually. I said I may need a good formatter eventually.
Yeah, same.
I wish I wasn't losing my voice. I'm getting it back.
Yeah, it sounds like it's getting better.
Lots of tea.
Lots of tea. So,
if you know how long you want the next sprint to be, I can prepare that.
I was thinking as it was ending, I was thinking that wasn't long enough. So I was thinking either 20 or 25.
Which one?
Let's jump to 25. And thank you very much.
Let's see. Do you want to stick with fall or you want something different?
If you do something fall, maybe something by Laura Nettles, because boy, her timers are so cool.
Let's see if I can. Laura Nettles has a 25-minute Halloween timer. She has a 25-minute cute bat timer. She also has. These pumpkin ones, spooky ones, are really nice. Do you want a pumpkin one or a bat one?
How about a pumpkin one?
Sure. This is super cute.
And thank you.
It's nice actually doing it for somebody else because when I'm doing my stream, I struggle to make sure I get the timers ready so much.
go. It's very cool and cute. Okay.
I think I'm gonna switch my laundry during the sprint and then get back to reading this. It's still dinging at me. I've been ignoring it. I apologize if you can hear the dinging in the background.
I think I will work on one of the this chapter that takes place. Let's see. This chapter is. It's not the chapter. It's not the chapter after what I submitted, but it's the following. Because that one was really fine. So I just thought it was a good place to stop.
How many pages did you send me?
I sent.
Oh, I see 40 something.
I was around 96 pages.
Okay.
96 manuscript pages.
I'm only on page 6. So.
But they are double spaced.
Yep.
I looked at double spaced.
Yeah.
It's just out of habit, I guess.
I used to never double space, but I feel like when I double space, I see the progress faster. I'm like, ooh, yeah, I got a whole page done, and it's really like half of one regular page. It's not double spaced, but it's double spaced.
But it's a manuscript. It's a traditional manuscript page, so.
Oh, it looks nice. It looks very
when you submit things. When you submit to an editor, it's a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. Although, it depends on what everybody wants to. So. But anyway.
Look for the specific things, right?
I'm sorry?
I said you have to look for the specific submission guidelines.
Yes. And also, start the communication in that way. Mm-hmm. Seeing what everybody likes and all that jazz. Okay. We have a 25-minute timer ready. It is almost 12:50, so I think we're going to get started in just a second here. Hey, Bonnie, would you like to count us down?
Sure. Don't forget to stretch your fingers out. Make sure your documents are open. Try to get in a productive mindset. Don't forget to save, and make sure you got some water or tea or coffee or whatever you're drinking today to keep you going forward in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sprint.
All righty. How did everybody do? What did everybody do?
I am
I
still reading
wrote
their
a
story.
little bit more than a paragraph. Okay. I hope you like it. And somebody came in during the sprint. Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
You?
Getting tired of ad interfaces on the interwebs because they're all terrible. But other than that, fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in book promo mode, so I'm like setting up ads everywhere. And somehow every service has found a way to make their ads experience worse. Like, how can we make this more counterintuitive?
That's good. That's not good. That's crummy.
Yeah.
This might brighten your day.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Isn't it? I love this cup. And look.
Secret pumpkin.
It's so kooky and vintagey, and I don't know. It's probably, I don't know how old it is.
I love the Halloween mug. I really love floral mugs a lot. This one actually has an actual like lid that goes on it to keep it warm, but I love these.
That's cool.
I love the little birds and flowers on the teacups for some reason.
It kind of reminds me of, I have a friend who's a writer and an artist. And what she does as an artist is she'll take thrift store art, she'll buy it, especially if it looks unfinished, and that's kind of how she got started doing this. And she'll add things to it that are quirky and funny and kind of
repurposed,
altered. That's it. It's altered thrift store art. And she'll add funny things like something having to do with aliens or fantastical things. She's taken
like where does she like decoupage
that? No, she just literally adds to the painting. Like she took this one and it was of flowers, and what did she put in there? I'm trying to remember, but there was one she did. It was kind of like that, and it was like on a table. You know, it looked like the flowers were in a vase on a table. So behind it, poking out his head from behind it was Baby Yoda.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, they're really really cool. Yeah, she's got an Etsy shop where she sells different things. But anyway. That's a friend of mine that turned me on to Necronomicon Tampa. But anyway,
I have a question, Charlie.
Yes.
Did you hear about? I know you use Twitch. Did you hear about the stream key resets?
Yep.
Because of the hacking.
Yeah. I feel like this is probably a direct result of them suing a couple trolls. But can't prove that, so allegedly related to them actually
set stream keys just as a precaution, huh?
Yeah, it's good to see them jumping on it early rather than waiting for some big streamer to get their stream hacked, which honestly feels more on brand for an Amazon company, but
well, it's interesting right after Facebook and Instagram went down the other day too. So it's just interesting seeing all these things happen within a week.
Jeez. That's the truth. That's the truth.
I just wondered your thoughts on that.
Yeah, the Facebook one, I feel like somebody definitely got fired for that because it was returning a DNS error, which probably means somebody was either updating their SSL keys or something, and that just brought everything down in a way that they couldn't figure out how to get it back up. Also because those kinds of errors propagate, so not only does it cascade out across the internet, but you have to wait for the fix to cascade out too, so you can't just flip a switch and make it all better.
Yeah.
I also find it very interestingly timed that when a whole bunch of bad news came out about Facebook, oh no, Facebook's down. Let's talk about that instead.
Yeah.
Um,
I try to stay out of the news. I'm depressed enough.
Actually, that's what the news was. That basically Facebook has a entire team dedicated to engineering the algorithm to make people angry and upset.
I haven't really used Facebook in a long time. I used to use it. I used to like Farmville, like when I first had Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not huge on Facebook. I don't really
have it.
like
I just
it.
never go on it.
I just think things, and that's almost all I do is just put some of my stuff on there.
Yesterday was the first time in a long time I'd been on there because I was setting up the ad for the new series because the Shadow Phoenix Saga finally started over at Kindle Vella.
Cruising right along with the Kindle Vella. I love it. I love it. I love it. I want some of your magic power though, Charlie. Zap my finger.
It's called sublimation. It's a very good thing to learn.
Give me some of your energy.
Take all of your anxiety in you.
We got to get matching power rings, and then we can just power ring up.
Power twins.
Right?
What are twins? Activate. Form a bucket. Wait, what? It always cracked me up.
I shouldn't be envious. I know all the struggles you've probably gone through to get to this point. So,
yeah, there's
a lot of struggle with the wins, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have been a published author for 15 years, over 15 years now.
That's so nice.
And, if for anybody who saw the video I released on Tuesday night, like, it's really amazing to me. Like, I feel like this is my first novel. Like, this is the first story that's me.
Did you ever struggle when you were writing your first book? Like, I know Heather's almost done with hers, and just feeling like if I finish this, then I have nothing else to work for. Sometimes I feel like I self-sabotage a little bit. Like, I'm like, I want to finish this so bad, but if I finish this, the thought comes then like, what?
I never thought I would write a decent book. I
will only write a decent book, so I just keep scrapping everything else.
I wrote 4 books before Liquid Sky, which was the first book of mine to get published. And when I finished Empire, which was my first book, I reread it and I was like, this is the worst thing ever done in the English language. And I'm not wrong. Like, I still have it. It's
you finished it, right?
It's uneditable. Like, it's not fixable. It's it's hot trash.
So we shouldn't worry so much.
No, but I started writing in middle school, and
I feel all of that. Like, I've always loved writing, but only since the AuthorTube. Right before AuthorTube did I decide I want to write a book. Even though I've been writing stories without concentrated focus for this purpose. But.
Is my second book, Behind This Darkness. I still like it. I think if I went back to it, it would take a lot of rewrites and stuff. But I think it might actually be able to be something. So that gave me hope to keep going. Evermore was hot trash. That would be my third book. It was just complete and utter hot trash. Like, it's straight up like Mary Sue power fantasy fiction. It's not not good at all. But I'm
still on your story, still working through.
It's all about persistence, because unlike any other craft that we have out there, you really can't learn writing from a book.
Right.
You can't read your way there. You can't study your way there. You have to
over and over and over.
Yeah. It's all practice. It's 100% practice. And it's unfortunately practice that no one can assign you. Like I can give you scales to play on a keyboard over and over and over again to learn how to play the scales.
But if you don't go home and pick up the keyboard,
But
right?
well, see, there's not even an equivalent to here's some scales to write, because until you understand how you write dialogue, how you write humor, how you write action scenes, because
I feel like I have my voice developed in my story writing. I just am still working on feeling like it's good enough. You know what I mean? That I'm not missing things, that I'm not leaving certain plot points or twists, or am I putting enough in? Am I not putting enough in? I'm still indecisive on certain things. So I struggle a little bit with that.
I'm kind of at the same point too.
I don't think I never felt that Liquid Sky was good. I liked it. It was all right. I never really truly loved it. The same with Fate's Harrow or Shine Like Thunder or the Faroon stories or The Chain. Like all of my previous work, like I always had that feeling about it. It wasn't until I wrote Crucify, My Love, that I started feeling like, oh, I actually kind of like this. And by the time I finished Raid, I'm just like, I'm enamored with this. I'm just like, I love this book. I love this book. So
the fear is other people going to love this book like you love this book, or take it in a totally different way, right?
I'm living in like mortal terror of like, is anybody going to love this thing?
And I think we all have to deal with that, don't we?
Yeah. But you know, especially at the early points of your career, you have to realize that good enough is good enough.
Yeah, I struggle with good enough.
Because perfection is elusive. Like I even as much as I love Raid, the book that just started coming out, it's not perfect.
You know what? I battled that my whole life too, thinking about that in school. Being when I was younger, I was always in the higher percentage of the class. You know what I mean? I always got really good grades, took AP, was on honor roll, blah, blah, blah. And I know even when I was doing my work then, and I know I was performing at a high level then, I still struggled with thinking it was good enough, even though I knew I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though you know you're in the top bracket, you still.
Yeah, I was that kid too.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to be in that top bracket because this sucks. You know what I mean? So I think I struggled with that a lot.
And I mean, the thing,
a lot. So I always had something to prove when I was in a new school that, I think.
The thing that changed for me between my previous work and this one is honestly like the one thing I wish I could like bottle and sell to every writer. I stopped caring. Like, yes, I want other people to love this book as much as I do, but if they don't, F them.
Yeah.
Like, I love this story.
Nowadays, people don't like your stuff, you get crucified for it. So it's like, where's that line? You know?
Like, I'm willing to go down for this one.
How line? Yeah.
You know, I'm at a point in my life, and this may just be my age, that I'm writing for me and writing what I want to see and writing what I feel is missing in the market. Like, I'm writing the book that I want to read that I can't find anywhere. And hopefully there are more people like me out there that are like, hey, yeah, where is stuff like this?
Tell you what, one thing I've learned being a part of this community for the last year is that I might think some of my stuff is dark and out of line. And then I hear other people, I'm like, no, I'm good. You can think some of the stuff you're writing is like maybe too far over the edge or maybe in a taboo place. And then I hear other people, I'm like, no, I'm good. I think that can be a challenge too. Excuse me. That can be a challenge too, thinking, is this appropriate or not? Because you have to challenge your characters though. So that's one thing I've learned. Like, I might think this is a little harsh and someone might take it the wrong way, but this character still needs obstacles. So I've come to learn that over the last year. So,
Where at least where I'm at in my writing right now, I care more that the story is fun
mhm.
than I do any of the other elements. Like, yes, there are challenges that the characters have to face and everything, but
Mhm.
if it's not entertaining, if it's not
Mhm.
if it's not an enjoyable ride, and that doesn't mean like bad things don't happen in the book, like, whoa.
The flow,
um
the flow of it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
but the bad things have to be cathartic in some way. Like, you have to feel them in some way, and if you don't feel them, then there's no point in them happening.
And that's why you need to make sure your character has a, not just the arc of the story, but the character has an actual arc.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
And I
It goes
love these
with your
characters
theme.
just too much.
Yeah. As long as the character is making actions that pertain to the theme, it's going to collaborate the character's emotional story arc with the story arc.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I'm getting. I'm learning as I go. So trying to
Yep.
piece things together. You guys help a lot.
Same. Hey, I was thinking, do we want one more sprint? Maybe 15, like we did at the beginning. That way we have, what was that? That would be our third sprint, I think.
As I always say, that is entirely up to you. I'm just here for the ride.
What do you have going on today, Charlie?
I honestly don't know. I am like still in that like the book came out high.
Yeah.
And I think I have all the ads set up now, which has been what I've been doing for like the last 2 days. is going around and setting everything up so that people know it's there, because that's the real secret of writing. Is writing the book is maybe 10% of your career. If you're a professional writer, about 90% of it is book promotion and getting people to understand that you exist. That's the vast majority of the work. And so I've been doing that for the last couple days. I may, when the hubby gets home, just take the rest of the day off. I don't know.
Do you do that, Charlie? Do you ever do that?
What, take a day off?
Right.
Yeah.
I take half days here, there, and yonder.
Yes.
But
you're a full-time writer, career writer, right?
mm-hmm.
So we all have to make sure like we know what our own objectives are too, right?
Yeah, you really need to know what it is that you want to do and what you want out of your career.
I don't know what I want tomorrow. Sorry.
Oh, that is very relatable.
Well, I don't know what I want this afternoon. I'm just happy I had something to wake up for today. Sorry.
But more than likely, I'm going to be doing some music during the sprint because.
Sorry if I'm being a bit nihilist. I'm finding if I make regular routines, so it's easier for me to set goals. And even if I set goals, if I make the routines, it's easier for me to actually follow through on the things that I want to do. Because I can make lists all day of things I have to do, and then my mind is like, I should be doing this, yet I'm sitting here. So.
I know that feeling all too well.
Good thing it doesn't last all the time. So that's always nice. At least, hopefully, it'll move on. So, I'm gonna read some more Heathers.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying it.
I will finish my lunch, which I started during the last.
Whether you know it or not, reading yours is slowly cracking away at me, feeling like I can share my work with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a big thing. I think once I break that of being able to freely share things and not being mortified to share things, I think once I break that, I'll reach a new level of moving on. But
I do have to say that's probably might have something to do with it that I haven't shared much of my story, but it's also that uh, for other reasons too, because like I was saying earlier, I want to keep that mystery element of the story, intact.
I'm not gonna get spoilers.
That that sounds good.
Did you send it to Charlie also?
Yep.
Yes, I did.
Oh, maybe we can discuss
And the friend I mentioned
behind
earlier.
closed doors.
Yeah, that's my desperate thing is finding time to read. I just started Carrie's yesterday because she sent it to me a while ago, and book launch
A book upstairs.
book launch has been eating my life right now, and it feels so good reading other people's work that's not my own that I don't have to edit. Like this is I forgot the simple joy of not having to edit the text that you're reading.
It's hard.
Right, exactly. It is. It is.
Well, your editing and everything looks really good. I'm not seeing like misspelled words or anything like that.
I was trying to make that as clean as I possibly could before doing anything remotely related to submitting it to people. Alrighty, well, shall we do a quick sprint?
Let's do it.
All right. Hey, Charlie, do you want to count us down?
Sure. I will say before anything else, make sure that you're saving your work, you're backing it up, and you're sending it to your friends. I lost an entire song that I had spent about a week working on because it just disappeared. I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. It is nowhere. So, and well, we saw what happened with Facebook this week. So back up. Save. Make sure you don't lose your work. The gremlins are wild and they are going crazy. Also, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. This is Preptober. A lot of us are doing a lot of work this month, but remember, next month is National Writers Burnout Month, not this month. Save your energy for next month. You're going to want it then. Let's get started on this sprint in a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and go!
Okay. How did everybody do? What did everybody do? I ate some lunch and added words to my manuscript. So that's not too shabby, I guess.
I'm still reading through those pages, and I put the clothes in the dryer finally after it screamed at me all morning. I'm really enjoying it. It's getting my brain thinking. I'm starting to see some of the elements come into play.
Oh, cool.
I'm starting to see where the chapter 2 title is coming into play more in chapter 3.
Okay. Awesome. I think I know what you mean.
Where it's progressing into the progression. I'm seeing the progression.
Gotcha.
Are those okay to say? I'm trying not
Sure,
to
yeah,
give
that's
spoilers.
fine.
Just what I'm
That's
thinking.
fine. Like it?
Charlie must be writing stuff.
Your thoughts.
I'm thinking about which spooky Halloween movie I'm gonna watch this evening.
Oh, cool.
I've been streaming like old horror movies and stuff like that.
What have you been seeing? Jamie Lee Curtis was interviewed this morning on the Today Show because of the new Halloween.
Let's see. I have a whole playlist of what I've been watching, and there was some good ones that were. Actually, I watched. It's a paid one, but I watched Witches of Eastwick yesterday with Jack Nicholson there.
I haven't seen that in years.
You know, Halloween time.
Hard to believe that's a classic now.
It has Sharon. You know, it has so many good actresses in there.
I know. Who are just amazing and beautiful. And
I can tell you what else I watched. I watched The Witches of Eastwick yesterday. Halloween with the Addams Family episode, really old one, Halloween episode. I watched the 1960 version of Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, what did you think of that? Had you seen it before?
These were mostly all free off of YouTube movies, so most of the ones on my playlist,
like free with ads. That's good to know. I'll have to. I haven't seen it in a long time.
1959, and then I watched High Spirits from 1988, which was pretty funny. So,
was that the one with Daryl Hannah, and it's in?
I think so. It
in
was
Ireland?
fun with the house. It's a big house, and they want to pretend it's haunted, and then it's actually haunted. It was pretty funny.
Okay.
It was good. So most of them are free on YouTube if you see them on my October horror and Halloween playlist. I've watched a few other ones that I didn't add to the playlist.
Okay.
But there was one that was brand new this year.
The playlist on your channel, you mean?
Yeah, I have a playlist for October movies that I'm watching.
Okay. Cool.
Most of them are free movies, except for The Witches of Eastwick wasn't. So
Okay.
I have that in my collection already on my YouTube movies. So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna watch The Craft today.
Oh.
So I haven't watched that in a long time.
We got kicked out of the Craft in the theater.
Oh, why?
What? Yeah. Why?
Because every time they cast a spell, Matt started chanting EVIL. For what we do, we go to hell. Evil. Evil. Oh, evil.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That'd be worth it, though, right?
Oh, totally worth it. I can't think of The Craft without hearing Matt's voice in the back of my head. Just, EVIL. For what we do, we go to hell. Evil. Evil. Oh, evil.
Every time I think I want to watch Blair Witch too. I haven't watched that in like years and years and years.
I actually saw that in the movie theater for some weird reason, and then driving home, I was like,
Yeah. I do a lot of camping in the woods stuff too, so I haven't watched it in a while. I don't know if that'll
Well, okay,
change
so
my
the Blair Witch really bothered me because that's the forest I used to hang out in all the time. This is where it's filmed.
Wow.
And they're like, I don't know where we are. I don't know where we're gonna go. And I'm just like, dude, I know where you are. The road's like 5 feet away from you. Just like, listen, you'll hear cars drive by. Just shut up and stop yelling for a minute. You'll hear the cars. The road's right there.
I just got an evil idea to play on the kids in the town. Would go into like the town park woods and put up stuff.
Oh, there was enough messed up stuff in
That
those
sounds
woods.
horrible. I was there with a video camera watching them scream.
But yeah, it really kind of just like, I had a very different experience because I'm just like, I know where you're at. You're right by the state park. Just go over the hill. You'll see the arch. Don't walk through the arch, but you'll see the arch and then you'll be there. Like, what are you doing? Why are you so afraid? Like, I don't understand. Like,
You have a favorite Halloween story?
I'm very cliche about that. Like, I love the Legend of Sleepy Hollow more than just about any other story ever. And so I will generally either read or watch a version of it every year, or both, or all the above.
I used to have a copy of that, and I don't know what happened to it. Just lost it. But I wrote a book report on that when I was in, I don't know, I guess it was middle school. And I was just enamored of it. And I was very fascinated with it. And just really enjoyed it immensely. So I understand.
I am currently going through my Dracula binge, like my annual Dracula binge. So we started with the Bela Lugosi. We're working our way through the Christopher Lees because Christopher Lee. We're almost to the Frank Langella period of Dracula, like, which is fine.
I've been watching a lot of Vincent Price stuff, so like really old.
Oh, I love Vincent Price movies.
There's so much on YouTube for free movies that it's really easy to fall in that rabbit hole.
He is one of my favorite actors, and yes, it just everything Vincent Price. Yes.
The way he just embraced what became, his career, and and then kind of made fun of himself when he did the that Michael Jackson
Thriller
monologue, I guess.
I mean, as a queer actor, he knew that his entire career was always in jeopardy. That that he could get blackballed at any time. So he just relished all the roles that he got because he just loved acting so much. And
that's cool.
Just all the Vincent Price,
movies.
All of it.
Yeah, I'm stuck in the old movies.
Yeah. Hey, but you just can't go wrong.
There was one on my list that came out new 2021 under V horror movies called The Witches Academy. And that one was pretty good. It was like set in modern day times. And I don't want to spoil it, but it was pretty good. They had like, how we would have like the FBI. They had another team similar to that that's like witch hunting and trying to
nice.
out and get rid of them. So it was called I think that one was The Witches Academy, or that could have been Witchcraft. I don't know, but there was some really good ones on YouTube for free if you're into watching some of the older ones.
There really are.
And some new independent ones too. So.
I will also be breaking out the audiobook of Carmilla because David Tennant's in it. Mm-hmm. And you got to love a good vampire story. And Carmilla is a fun vampire story. And like I said, David Tennant's in the audiobook version of it. Mm-hmm. So yes, all of the yes.
Oh my God. He can do lots of different accents, but then he can just talk the way he talks, and that's good too.
Yes.
I love the Scottish accent.
I also have a really good full cast audio of Bram Stoker's Dracula that I like to have on in the background this time of year because, again, like I said, I'm very much like a classics kind of person when it comes to my spooky tales.
I have a habit of
I'm just like, save Lucy.
I have a habit of putting silent movies on, like old silent movies, like Nosferatu and stuff.
Love Nosferatu.
Sometimes I'll put that on the background when I want to actually do other things, but I want to watch something.
Every now and then, it's actually up on Netflix. Switchblade Symphony actually did a soundtrack for Nosferatu that syncs to the movie, and that's up on most streaming services. Great goth band. Tina Root is a goddess. But the version of the movie that they released that actually has that soundtrack as the undertone is often up on Netflix. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. It's so good.
Carrie, I feel the same way.
That and Peacock actually has the Werner Herzog version of Nosferatu.
You said
So if-
Peacock?
Yeah, which is a free streaming app. It's free with commercials, or you can pay to have no commercials. But they have the Werner Herzog version. So if you need your vampires with extra existential dread, like a certain brand of German nihilism that is just ever so endearing.
I know we have Netflix. I can't remember the last time I used it though. So I watch a lot of things on the computers and in the downstairs, and the kids tend to run the upstairs TV. So I'd have to ask the smaller ones how to hook that up. They know how to switch it from like the cable to the Netflix to the YouTube to the video games.
And of course, while you're on the Netflix, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is like one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It's so like campy monster goodness.
I can manage to steal the TV in the evening.
Go for it.
Yeah. Wow.
I have listened to the entire series of How to Train Your Dragon because David Tennant reads the audiobooks.
I heard that. I would absolutely love to listen to that.
My kids have loved the show, so I haven't read that.
The books are different from the shows and the movies, but I again, like Carrie said, I would listen to David Tennant read a dictionary if he did. Yes.
Can you please read Chicago Manual Style then? I've tried reading that and I haven't made it through. It's so informational.
Even I haven't read it from front to back.
I would like put it on play while I'm sleeping over and over again, so it just gets programmed into my subconscious mind.
Honestly, that's where we need somebody with a gravitas of like a Christopher Lee to read it, just to be like, yes, master, I will do this, master. Like, you just need that like booming voice of authority.
17.523.
That's funny when you say that. I automatically think of a specific person that I used to fangirl over. Whatever you want, master. Yes.
What that section is.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with the show Black Books. It's a British comedy set in a bookstore, but every time we watch anything with either David Tennant or Christopher Lee in it, the hubby just turns and looks at me and goes, "Fran, are you okay, Fran?" And I can't help myself. The character of Fran is infatuated with the voice of the guy who does the shipping forecast on the news and listens to it to make herself happy in a very intimate way. And she ends up calling him at one point, and he just like, "Hello, Fran," and she just like has like a Pavlov's dog reaction and has to mute her phone as reactions happen. And so every time we watch anything with either David Tennant or Christopher Lee, he just looks at me and is like, "Fran, are you okay, Fran? Leave me alone. Leave me alone." But yes, I'm fine.
That's funny. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, this has been so much fun, guys. And thank you to you two for reading my story. And as I have been working on getting a migraine, I think I need to definitely take a break after I'm out of yeah, I can't talk right now. Sorry. As soon as I'm done with the stream and all, I think I'm gonna need to go close my eyes for a little bit and see if I can get it to go away the rest of the way. So, which is why I turned off my my light, Charlie, because it seemed to be affecting and making it a little worse. So I turned it off.
And that's one of the reasons why I set up the light box, because having the light off to the side didn't cause headaches as badly.
Yeah, that's I have to figure something out. Maybe I can turn it into a light box and put something over it.
Yeah, my quote unquote light box is literally a cubby in my desk that I lined with white paper. And I put my ring
I
light.
know I know that the old shooting things were just a piece of white paper,
Mm-hmm.
white cardboard or something. That is a wonderful idea.
Oh yeah, hi Carrie. Bye,
Streaming
Carrie.
on a budget.
Yep, streaming on a budget. Oh, this I found it on at a local store that it was reduced. It wasn't very expensive at all. So I got it anyway.
Carrie makes me think of another movie that made me cringe when I was young. Jeepers Creepers.
Oh yeah.
Haven't watched that in a long time.
Me neither. I don't know if I even still like that or not.
No, I can't look at rusty vans anymore.
I'm trying to, and that title sounds really, really familiar.
Jeepers Creepers.
Where'd
Where'd
you
you
get
get
those
the
peepers?
I lost my voice.
It's such an old song.
Oh, it's that movie freaked me out for a while.
My mother used to sing that song. It's probably from the 20s or something.
I got a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, look at the, Jeepers Creepers, look at those peepers.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a
It must have been on something.
Bugs Bunny or something like that. Some
Must have been
cartoon.
on something.
Could have been.
So it's on some kind of cartoon.
So
I can't even remember the first time I heard that song.
Yeah.
Like it's just like part of me.
Wait a minute. I have to show this before we do anything else.
Yay, Carrie.
Carrie says her Vela project is being reviewed by Unlimited Stories YouTube channel. Video premieres at 9 tonight.
That's awesome.
Very, very cool.
They still haven't added my new one to the recently released on the actual Vela site,
Huh.
which, having talked to Maggie, they have not been doing that with hers either. So I think their website's broken.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, that does not sound good. That does not sound good. I hope that all gets resolved
Me too.
soon for you, Charlie.
So I'm very excited to see people actually reading it.
Mhm. Hey, Charlie, would you like to talk about that or anything else as a bit of an outro?
Sure. If you've been attending my streams or anything else and, well, been anywhere near me, you've heard me talk about this wonderful epic fantasy story that I'm working on about a bunch of privateers running around in an archipelago facing monsters and terrible dangers. Well, you can read it now over at Kindle Vela. It is called The Shadow Phoenix Saga. The easiest way actually to find it right now is go find my announcement video over on YouTube and click the link that's there, because it's not even showing up in search yet.
Oh.
Still. So,
Oh, that's okay.
yay. Fix yourself, Amazon.
Yes.
But I'm really, really excited about it. I love the story. It will be going on. It is got an estimated, the current outline is for, I think, 258 chapters
Wow.
in this series.
Wow.
And yeah, it's going to be over 1 million words by the time it's done. So there's a lot of story yet to come. So hopefully y'all will like it and will follow along on the journey. For anybody who's not interested in Kindle Vela, the first collected set of stories, Raid, will be available in December. So I'm very, Very excited to be sharing all of this with all of y'all. And yes. Yes, Carrie. All of the yes.
Just real quick, put that
Yes. I also stream twice a week over on Twitch at twitch.tv/CE Dorset, and every Wednesday and Friday starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. And it's fun, it's chaotic, and somehow stuff gets done. Join us. It's fun. And don't forget to check out my podcast, Project Shadow, which is available wherever podcasts are served.
All right. And Bonnie?
Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow at Prompt Coffee, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Brunch Writing Bunch, as every week, Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m.
Awesome. And I'm Heather Dewey Pettit, and I stream on not just Thursdays now, but also Tuesdays. So I will be back here at noon on Tuesday. And so I'm going to just continue with that, at least for the months of October and November. We'll see how it goes. After that, let's see. I am continuing working on my manuscript, as I also hear some critique from others in the near future. I don't know how I feel about that, but no, I'm really looking forward to hearing some feedback from people who I feel would appreciate my story. All right, well, I think that's it, and I hope everybody has a great day. Bye. Bye, everybody.